Yes, YouTube. Hope you're good. Right, latest purchase. Can you tell what it is yet? It's an MRP all mounting bash guard with a chain guide. The nuke proof didn't come with one. It only came, the Mega, sorry, didn't come with one. It only came with the top guide, of which I was a little bit disappointed about. Picked this one up. Chain Reaction Cycles was in the sale. Instead of 115 quid, it was 28 quid. What a bargain. Says it's 32 tooth. Well, that's a maximum of 32 tooth. This bit here, zoop is, I mean that bit's upside down at the moment, but that bit is actually adjustable, which I knew it was because that's what it's like on my old Mega, so I was really chuffed with that. I'm going to put the camera standing up so I don't keep on jumping around, and I'll unbag it. Right, here we go. The unbagging, the unboxing of the chain guide, bash guard, chain guide, bash guard, chain guide. Right, so I'll put a link in for this in the thingies below in the description. Pretty light actually. Some of these are quite heavy. Here's the adjustable part that I was talking about. Let's just get that in the focusable bit. So there you go. That goes up and down. So that fits around your bottom bracket. And then that's your adjuster, just to make sure that's in the right place. To catch your chain. Right. So let's just unscrew this. I'll show that adjust a bit. There you go. See that? It's nice and light. Nothing special about that. It's just a slider. This fits over the top on a rail, and then that will go on top like that, and then you just have to make sure that that goes through. Tighten that up a little bit, just nip it up, and then there you go, look. 26, 28, so mine will sit like that. Just with the 28 in view. Where are you? It's a bit dark, 28 in view anyway. So yeah, that's going to work really well. 3 fixing nuts with the appropriate washers. They will sit there and there, and then basically you can swing that around on its axis. So these MRP products are really good. So that's pretty light. Don't exactly know how much it is in weight. This part here, which is made of some pretty tough nylonish sort of plastic, is replaceable, so you can just zip those out there and you can put whatever you want on. So I'll have a go at swinging this on at some point, but that is the unpackaging. Hope you enjoyed it. Right then, YouTube, so I've got the bike in the stand. Let's just bring that in. You can see here the link. I'm just going to break the link here. Right then, guys, so I've taken the opportunity just to sort of take the chain off. I've just got that hanging down at the moment. I'll just wind that through. Take the opportunity to, while that's off, oil it up, get it all nice and clean as well. pop that to one side. Now, I don't know whether you can see this. Let's just reposition the camera. Sorry to move you around a little bit, but we've got this 8mm hex extracting plate here. So this actually works as a you'll need an 8mm Allen key. These are very, very tight, as you can see. I don't know whether you can read that, but 54 Newton meters, which is absolutely ridiculous. For example, the ones in your handlebar, like the brake levers and maybe even your headset, go to like 4 or 5, maybe 6. This goes to 54 Newton meters of torque, which is quite a lot. So it's going to be a bit of a nightmare to get it off this one, but we will have a go and see what we can do. Right, there we go, got it going. So what basically we do is start unloosening that bolt, and that bolt actually goes against that lock ring and acts as an extractor. So it actually extracts the bolt from out of the bottom bracket. I think I've done the hard work there. No, so I should, in theory, just be able to spin that now and take, sorry for shaking the camera, it's all pretty close work this. Let's move the U out of the way and zoom in a little more. It's actually, the bolt is actually extracting now. I've just got to take this one out, which I think is a 5mm. No, it's not. It's nowhere near 5mm. 4mm. Should just be able to swing that up and over out of the way, or take it off. And keep on going. And as you can see, the bolt is still in there, and so is the outer lock ring. Quite a clever thing, that. Again, as you avid watchers of my channel, I don't think I've got any repeat people that watch my channel, to be honest, but this is a new bike, so I'll just get rid of all the fresh sort of grease, and I'll re-grease that at some point. Get rid of all the dirt that's already crept in. See the splines there on the dub fitting. Not going to mess with the bottom bracket at all. I'm going to leave that as it is. You can see there, it's nice and clean. What I'm going to do is I'm obviously going to take off the ISCG fittings here. ISG. I know it's ISCG, isn't it? I'd love to know what that stands for, actually. If anyone wants to tell me, pop it in the comments below. But 4mm, let's just nip these off. There's only 2 of them, I think. That top one there is just an adjuster. That's off, and that's off. So like I say, this bike's only about, I don't know, whoops, 6 or 7 rides deep, so everything's relatively clean. Little or no wear on that. It's a nice looking thing, actually. It's fairly light as well. Obviously going to take it off and put the new MRP Butte on. The reason for doing it is for that big fat chunker there, so I don't wreck my chain rings, bottom bracket, anything else you might smack. Just going to give this a quick brush down. Right then, all nice and clean. I'm just going to offer this up just to see how it ought to look. So, yep, top one there, lines, the bottom one lines, and that one lines. So, if you remember, gang, we had 3 bolts with spacers. Took that one off, and that had spacers behind, so that's always a pretty good datum point that you need spacers. I'm going to use some assembly grease on these threads. So 3 spacers and 3 nuts, bolts rather, and I'm just going to dip those in the grease and just pop on it, get it the thread seated. Another one, overdone it on this one, the bottom right, and then one for the bottom left. Oh no, that one's properly sunk in, look, yep. Those on there, lovely, no seizures here. I would say though, don't skimp on the grease in this area. It's a particularly wet area. You know, you're going to get lots of ingress, lots of stuff splashing up from the underneath. Just don't skimp on it, you'll only regret it at a later point. I'm just going to screw these all the way in, all the way back out, just to make sure they're on there okay. And also, just to be sure that everything fits and everything's okay. So here we are again with this. Just slack those back out. Make sure we put those in a safe place. Boring. Right, sorry about that. There we go, they're all out. Right, so I'm going to put this one with one of the spacers. There, look, space up. And I'm just going to rest that on. Pop the first one in. Nowhere near tight, skank. Nowhere near tight. Second one. Pinch one of them. Bolt through is the drill, spacer on the back is the next part, and then just to give it a tiny little turn there, because this one's going to be tricky to get in, the most tricky one of all. So you're just going to have to try and slip the spacer behind. In fact, move that all the way to the top, slip the spacer behind. There we go, get it in the hole. So, voila, fitted. Only joking. Right, so there's a bit of adjustment obviously to be had here. There's also an adjuster on the top, if you remember, because this is the adjustable chain guide. It fits, I think it says 30 to 34, maybe 32, I think it's 32, or 28 to 32. right? So I've nipped those up a bit tighter. Now, you don't have to worry too much because, well, I have to say, if your setup's the same as mine, you don't have to worry too much because you can actually get through or spin the crank and get through to the bolts at a later point in time. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to, like we did before, just flip this off totally, and once this nut's out, should be able to slide it all the way to the top and off. So yeah, it's 28 to 32 this one, and then you got that little sliding bolt. It has got a circlip on, so that's going to stay in there. We haven't got to worry about losing the bolt. New one on me, these dub bottom brackets and setups. Looks beautiful, looks nice. However, lots of little spaces and things on that bottom bracket. That is for another video. So I'll just move you to the side, guys. We'll zoom out a little bit there. Because I need the big oatmeal back in there. There we go. It's taking on quite nicely. Just nipping that up. Alright, so sort of semi-tight there, just tight as I can get it with that end. I'm going to have to put a lot more pressure on there. Just looking at the line there down this side, just with my head over here, just looking up, just to see what that looks like. Nothing's fouling, nothing's touching. Bottom bracket sweet as a nut. Now with this particular one, it's open, as you can see on the bottom, so you haven't got to worry about threading the chain through this one. What I'm going to do now though is just going to pop that over the top. Oh, sorry. Just going to pop that over the top. That you can see there's actually two guides here which fit over this part here, so it gets it seated quite nicely. Actually, these MRP things are actually really nice products to work with. Well made, everything sort of has its place and fits nice and neatly. And if it doesn't quite click together, just dropped it. If it doesn't quite fit together, there's probably a reason. You haven't got something right somewhere. So it's worthwhile just taking the time to get everything seated, all of this closed up nicely. Slide that over. Like I said, in actual fact, let's just do it in the simplest form. Get that up. This chain ring is a 30, so I'm presuming that needs just to be level with the 30 there. There is actually a little cutout. That, bear with me. Got cut out there, and you can actually see the 30. So I think probably needs to be about like that, which looks about right for the teeth, doesn't it, ladies, girls and boys, ladies and gents? Looks about right. So now I'm just going to pop the outside on, clip that together, then just make sure that nut over the back is lined up with the bolts that's going in, which it isn't at the moment. Oh, it's all so fiddly, it's all so fiddly. Right, I've got it in. Got it in. I have to say, I've got all of the bloody Allen keys out for some reason. Don't really need all the Allen keys out. But when I keep on turning away, from the job here. Oh, that hasn't been in focus, has it? That's a bit of a nightmare. Right, there you go, 30 on that little cutout. It's all looking quite nice. Just have a little look down there and see. You can also see at the bottom, that's I'm going to take the camera out to show you the bottom. You can see you've got that, the bash there is protecting the chainring, which is great. It's exactly what we want. So what I'm going to do to finish up, I'm going to tighten that back up. I'm going to put a lot of pressure on that, try to get it as tight as I can. I don't have a torque wrench that goes up to that sort of thing, so I'm just going to tighten it up as tight as I can. I'm going to put the chain through, and then I'll see how it looks, see how we get on, see if there's any rub on the chain. Right, one thing I did forget was I haven't tightened those nuts up yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that right up to the top, which whether you can see just through there, the no bolt there, the nice shiny guide just there, that's to the far right of that guide. That's the bottom, which obviously isn't top. This is basically top here. So we want the chain guide to be on the top there. As you can see, we've got clearance there for that nut. You can follow this round, there's another one there, you can follow it round, and then finally there's one just around the corner there. So you've got access to this to be able to fit it like that. You could say, was there any need to take the crank off? I think it was easier to take the crank off. You probably could struggle and install this without, but I think the way that I've shown you is probably the right way. It's also always good just to take your cranks off every now and again, just clean them down, have a look. I know this is a new bike, it's a brand new bike in relative terms. You haven't got to worry about stuff too much, but it's always nice just to have a little sneak peek. And for the sake of just one, you don't need any special tools, you just need an 8mm Allen key for this. It's a pretty easy job, guys, pretty easy job. So yeah, I'm just going to offer that up, I'm going to hold it there, and then I'm going to tighten these nuts up with the 4mm Allen key. So I've attached the chain. I can hear a little bit of squeaking actually. Oh, I wonder where that's coming from. I'm wondering whether we actually needed those spaces up. No, we did. We did. Yeah, there's a little bit of rub on the rubber there. Only in the very beginning. We'll see how we get on with that. I can just actually see it's on this edge. I don't know whether there's any adjustment in here, so I'll have a look at that. But the very last job, guys, is just to pull this down and get this as tight as we can, which that's pretty tight. When the bike's on the floor, I'll just give that another turn. Let's just take the camera out of the tripod. I'll show you where that squeaking is actually coming from. It's just coming from that front there. so might slack that off and see whether there's any adjustment ever so slightly, just to take that off. It's not a constant noise, but there's just a little bit of rub. It'll probably wear in, to be honest, quite quickly. I don't know whether I'm worried about that just at the moment. I'm actually using the camera to just be a bit lazy there and see where the issue is. There's only a slight rub. What I'll do is I'll just take that off and see whether I can sort of get rid of that little noise. A bit dark in here today, so just to finish up, actually, that squeaking was actually the jockey wheel, which was seized solid. I've got it spinning now on the bearings, but shocking really. Only a few rides in, and that's knackered. Yeah, let's just turn you back around and flip the screen so I can just see what's going on. As you can hear, I mean, obviously the chain's slack as anything because the rear lower jockey wheel isn't in, but there's absolutely no catching nag in there. Everything's fine. So bit of another problem, and this is always the way when you do a bit of maintenance work. You'll find that well, let's face it, some long overdue maintenance jobs that sometimes need doing, but that is now clean as a whistle. I'm going to sort of put the seals back on, lube it all up. It's very dry at the moment, but probably going to end up doing the top one as well. I'm quite shocked at that. I'm quite shocked. It was solid. It was just spinning basically on the nut that goes through the middle, and that's why it's squeaking. So interesting. Gonna have to keep a watch on that, because really that shouldn't be a maintenance job that I'm doing yet a while. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the install of the bash guard and chain guide. MRP, total quality products. Never failed me yet. This is the third one I've had. Never broke one, never worn one out. They've just been on sort of 3 consecutive bikes I've had. Like I said, bought this one, Chain Reaction Cycles, deal of the century as far as I'm concerned. Go out, grab you one. I'll put the link down below. Hopefully they're still available. Thanks for watching.